Welcome, everybody, to a Strasbourg Steven NFTV collab between myself on a channel, and TJ Warren as well. What's up, man? How you doing? We're here to talk about the UEFA Champions League first qualifying round, which will explain the bits and pieces of that. But what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm here to learn as much as I am here to call who is going to get into these final spots in pot 4. So we are looking forward to the conversation. I'm looking forward to being educated, and let's get into it, man. I'm excited. Thanks for having me on.
What's up, Jaminho? Shamrock Rovers. Yep, the Irish representative, the sole Irish representative.
I got Shamrock Rovers on my list.
Yep, they could be in it. BK Hawkins, another one. What's up, Seb from from Sweden, my guy? What's going on? Now before we get into any of this, let's make this interesting. What is going to be on the line, TJ? You call it, you name it, it's done. Is it $10? Is it a shirt? Is it what's on the line here? We gotta have
the line. I could do $10. Let's do $10. $10.
$10.
$10 US dollars, which is like €5.
Pounds.
Like 5 pounds. Yeah, no, 5 pounds.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so we're $10, and we're gonna try to predict, and we'll do these the second qualifying round, third, and then finally the playoff round, which will be the games, the final what? 6 matches to get the 6, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So let's just explain it from backwards to forwards. In terms of, I think it's the easiest. So let's just look at it from the simplistic point, right? So in pot 1, we've got obviously these are all the teams qualified. Manchester City as champions, the UEFA Europa League winners Sevilla, Barcelona, who won La Liga, Serie A champions Napoli for the first time in 32 years. They'll be coming back. Bayern München, who obviously won the Bundesliga last minute with Musiala, away to Köln. Paris Saint-Germain, only winning the league by 1 point last season. They get in as Ligue 1 champions. Benfica won the Portuguese Liga Primeira, so they get in, and Feyenoord finally get in as champions, as pot 1 of the champions of the Eredivisie for the first time in about 7 years. Real Madrid finished runners-up to Barcelona, so they get in pot 2, and they actually finished 3rd place, but they have a higher coefficient. Manchester United finished 3rd, but they do have a higher coefficient than Arsenal due to more recent European success, basically. Inter finished 3rd as well, and Lazio, even though they're in pot 3, again, higher coefficient. Borussia Dortmund finished 2nd, and they obviously have a higher coefficient than RB Leipzig a little bit, who finished 3rd. Atletico Madrid as well. They got into the top 4 of La Liga. And obviously your boys, Arsenal, finished 2nd. They're in pot 2. For the 3rd, this is where it gets interesting. Shakhtar Donetsk got in as Ukrainian champions. Same thing with RB Salzburg and Crvena Zvezda from Serbia. And AC Milan got that 4th and final spot in Serie A. Lazio also are in pot 3 because of the lower coefficient. Obviously, Milan's coefficient went way up because of the obviously recent the Champions League semifinal appearance where they lost to Inter. Sociedad finished 4th. Celtic finished as champions of Scotland, so they get in pot 3 because of the coefficient again. And Newcastle United, for the first time in 20-odd years, are in the Champions League as well. Now, with Sociedad, Celtic, and Newcastle United, it all depends on these 6 spots from the first qualifying round to the 2nd, to the 3rd, to the final playoff round. That's to determine where Sociedad, Celtic, and Newcastle end up. So, for example, Dinamo Zagreb have a higher coefficient than Newcastle United because they've been in the Champions League and in Europe much more recently than Newcastle. So they would get in at pot 3 and shove Newcastle out. And obviously the final 2 that are confirmed, without a doubt, in the UEFA Champions League. For the first time ever, Union Berlin are in the Champions League, featuring the lowest wage bill in the entire Bundesliga and have done ever since their promotion for the first ever time in 4 years for the Bundesliga. They finished 7th in their first year, 6th in their second year, and then they've gone on to finish 4th. So crazy story with Union Berlin, and they've also been in Europa League and Conference League. So they've just gone up and up. And Lens, who are making again their Champions League appearance for the first time since about 20 odd years since Newcastle were in it. Mm-hmm. So basically, what this whole process is that those final 6 spots, we're gonna basically start from right here. This is where it all starts at in terms of the first qualifying round. Now, what will happen is the winner of this match and that match in the second round plays this and etc. We'll get into all that, obviously, but that's the basic starting point of where we're at with all of this. So let's just get straight into it, I suppose. So the first match is match 1 is BK Häcken versus the New Saints of Wales. Obviously, these are all the domestic champions of the leagues with the coefficient that isn't as strong as the top 5 leagues in Europe. So we start off with the champions of Sweden versus Wales. So in terms of what they've got going on, Häcken are a very good side, like Sebastian in the comments said. They're a really good side, and Sweden has had representation in the past in the Champions League. A few years ago, it was Malmo was in the group with Juventus and Zenit. A Welsh team has never made it to any European competition, as far as I'm aware. So, and if you look at the favorites and whatnot, Häcken would be the easy pick. But what are you saying, TJ?
I'm going Häcken.
Okay, I will as well. Yeah, I'm going Häcken.
Yeah, and I will never, Sebastian, I will never take a bet that involves wearing a Spurs shirt.
Yeah, fuck that. That's
ever.
Yeah, because you lose part of your manhood, I think.
No, yeah, it's never gonna happen. Big up though, everybody. Smash likes, by the way. Smash likes. You got 9 likes. Get up to 10 likes right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Jez is in the house. Big up, Jez.
Hey, what's up, Jez? I'm trying to figure out my fucking camera situation.
I was gonna say, what are you doing? What happened?
I don't know why it's camera's just not doing well. Oh well, whatever. I'll figure it out in a minute. But in terms of let me just pull up terms of Häcken versus the New Saints. There might actually be an odd player here and there that you could recognize, maybe, because obviously the older players, they just go back to their home country. But in terms of Häcken, from what I've seen of them, very attack-minded, good attack. They've got, I like Mikkel Jensen, a bit older, 32 years old. Akurumeo Amane, 20 years old from Cote d'Ivoire. Ali Youssef and Ola Kamara. Jesus.
I recognize Kamara.
Kamara, DC United?
Yeah, I recognize Kamara. Kamara used to play. I'm pretty sure Kamara used to play for Rapids, too, for a little while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. So there are 2 names or a name right there that you could recognize.
I didn't think I was going to recognize any of these.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I said, man.
That's hilarious.
I know. But yeah, and then in terms of, I doubt there's anyone I recognize from the New Saints. We've got Connor Roberts. It's a basic ass name. Routledge, I think maybe I heard of. Redmond. They've got a Polish. What? Adrian Sheslevich. Why is a Polish guy playing in Wales? What?
Wherever there's an open
spot. Polish. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Not really sure who else I can recognize from this. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can recognize. So this game will obviously take place next Wednesday at 1:00. So me and you are both going Haken.
I'm going Haken, yes.
Excellent. So I'll lock that in. I'm going Haken, and TJ is going Haken. Okay, let's see. Jesus Christ. This camera's bothering the hell out of me. I don't know why.
Yeah, you just went black.
What? I thought it was just on. Hold on.
Sounds like you're in a server room.
Wait.
There we go. There you are.
God damn it! Finally, big up everyone in the comments. By the way,
big up everybody.
Comments. Sebastian, who lives in Sweden, knows Haken. He says, "Look out for Vini Traore." I pointed at him, and Ibrahim Sadiq. I believe you're talking about. Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, I'm going Haken. And yeah, they actually did play this morning, and it was 1-1 with AIK. So yeah, we'll both go with Haken and call it a day. Now, for match 2, it's Balkani from Kosovo taking on Ludogorets Razgrad, who actually have some European pedigree, like they've been competing in the group stage of the Champions League. But Kosovan football has been doing all right, and Balkani did okay last season, actually, in terms of they were the first ever Kosovan team to get to a what's it called? A UEFA group stage competition. So I'm not I doubted. I did this with my buddy last year, and I picked against Ludogorets every round until the last one, and then they fucked me over. So I'm actually at a crossroads in terms of I don't know who I'm really going with at the moment. But that's the other one that we've got. The first leg is going to be in Kosovo, and then the second leg in Bulgaria. Like I said, both of these teams were in Europe last season, and there might be a name or two you recognize from Balkani or Ludogorets. There might be. I don't know why it's taking forever to load, but whatever. Come on, man. Squad lists. Come on, man.
We got 8 watching. Make sure you're smashing likes, everybody. Smash likes for the legend Steve-O right now.
Facts. Okay, so from what I know, Thaki is actually pretty good. He was pretty good for Balkani when I saw him in the Conference League last year. Ziba as well. And I think Tusha. No, he's one of the younger ones. Rahmani, he's decent. He's pretty decent. And then in terms of Ludogorets, they've got a few Brazilian guys that I really, really like, actually, in terms of Claude Gonçalves, who's actually from France, actually. So
I think I recognize that name.
Naresi as well, Matias Teixeira, Nonato, the Brazilian, yeah. So they've actually got a decent team. So actually, I haven't checked on DraftKings or anything in terms of who are favorites for this, but I actually imagine it's pretty close. Like I said, both of these teams made a UEFA competition last year, and Balkani went on a great run. So for me, I think I'm gonna go with Ludogorets. Oh God, no! I actually have to think about this.
I'm going Ludogorets.
I'll go Balkani then.
Okay, all right.
Balkani.
Yeah, we got to throw in some differentiation here.
I'll go Balkani, but TJ's riding out with Ludogorets.
A Balkan clash. I hope no trouble. Me too.
Oh God.
Me too.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Sebastian's going for Ludogorets. Danny Zonan's going Ludogorets. TJ, what's up, man?
Big up, Latimus. Big up. My guy Prime, baby.
Hi, TJ. How's things? Steve, tell your club Newcastle stop ruining football. Bro, we're not ruining football. Come on, Latimus. I know you.
Latimus, come on my channel and tell us why Newcastle are ruining football.
Yeah, man.
We'll do it.
Come on, man. We'll move on to match 3, and that's Jaminho's Shamrock Rovers from Ireland. They are going to be playing Icelandic side Breidablik, who I actually watched yesterday. They destroyed some team from Reykjavik called Falkir, and they destroyed them. Actually, I was kind of impressed with fucking Breidablik. Actually, they're actually kind of decent. So I'm going Breidablik, but if you're gonna take Jaminho's Irish boys,
I'm gonna take the Irish boys. I'm back in Shamrock Rovers.
You're taking Shamrock, okay?
I'm
pretty sure they lost in this exact scenario last season, but hey, fair enough, man.
Hey,
fair enough.
And then I'm gonna blame Jaminho when it goes tits up.
That's a good idea, actually. That's a good idea. In terms of who we've got for both rosters, once this stupid fucking thing loads. Come on. Uefa's website is ass.
It's
terrible.
Built poorly.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Actually,
Big up,
no.
Eugene.
It's probably hey, what's up, Eugene? Shout out everybody in the building, yo. Yeah, in terms of Shamrock, they're hosting the first leg. And I actually think this game is on Paramount Plus. So there are actually a few games that I'll be able to watch.
Yeah, I need to take that down.
Huh?
I need to take that down. I need to watch it. They're going to be on Paramount Plus. I'm going to watch them. Tuesday?
Yeah. All right, fuck this website.
We'll look it up.
Honestly, I'm just going to go with I'm just going to wing it from here on out. But yeah, in terms of Breidablik and Shamrock Rovers, the favorites for me are probably Shamrock by a little bit. Considering the Icelandic league isn't as strong.
Yeah.
As what's it called? As Ireland, but they're two pretty poor leagues. I'll go with fucking Breidablik. And you're taking Shamrock?
I'm going Shamrock, yeah.
All right, fair enough. And then
they got a lot of good games. They got Ferrol, Sheriff, Slovan Bratislava versus Swiss.
Sheriff beat Real Madrid 2 years ago in the group stage.
Yeah,
I remember too. So Breidablik came for the preliminary round. Yeah, preliminary round. So yeah, TJ's going Shamrock. I'm taking Breidablik, I think. I think I'm going with that. So next up we've got Zalgiris Vilnius versus FK Struga from Macedonia, from North Macedonia, as they're now called. Again, in terms of favorites, I would have to double check, but I think Struga might be the slight favorites, but Zalgiris went on a great run and again made history by becoming the first ever Lithuanian team to get to a European group stage. So they're kind of a dark horse. They last year I think they beat someone pretty good. They beat what's it fucking called? No, that was Maccabi Haifa actually. But I don't know, TJ. Who are you going with in terms of Zalgiris and Struga? Zalgiris is, like I said, I would say the slight favorite just because of the recent European form.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zalgiris. Then I'm sorry, I had to look it up. So yeah, I'm pulling up the fixtures. Yeah, Zalgiris is what I'm going with.
What's up?
I'm going with Zalgiris.
All right, Zalgiris it is for TJ. I actually am going with them too. I'm going Zalgiris as well. Oh shit, I misspelled it. It really is some Wi-Fi password settings. They actually got some decent players, Zalgiris. A few names: Josip Tadic from Croatia, Renan Oliveira, Brazilian, Mateus Oyuisiwi, Nigerian, Orenga, Milikovic. They got it. That's actually an all right team, to be honest. They've got some Croatian and French players and some Ghanaians and a Brazilian and Nigerians. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll probably go with Zalgiris also.
Dope.
But yeah, I think I definitely think they'll get through. But Breidablik can score a shitload of goals. Like I said, they were good yesterday. But I think it might be just a bit too much. Actually, this is the one I'm gonna share. There we go. This fucking one. Nice. Nice.
There we go. That's easier.
Yeah, it is.
That's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, so you're going with what's it called? You're going Zalgiris.
Zalgiris, yep.
Yeah, so the next one, actually, that's perfect because then I can just click on their squad. It's almost like the Uefa shite should have had this as their fucking thing. Christ. Anyways, match 5. In terms of key, Kleksvikskar Iritroflugs, from the Faroe Islands. They're taking on Hungarian giants Ferencvárosi. And obviously, these are the two domestic champions from their countries. And Ferencvárosi, obviously, last year were in the Europa League. And they were in the Champions League about 2 or 3 years ago as well. They were in a group of Barcelona. So they're actually a decent team. Mohamed Besic plays for the Bosnian national team. Henry Wingo used to play for Seattle Sounders. That's not your Marquinhos, by the way. This is.
No, I know.
Yeah. To be fair,
there are like 7 different Marquinhoses.
Yeah. Eldar Sivic, again, another Bosnian international, a current one. Amagoyak as well, another name I recognize. Ibrahim Cisse.
I remember Cisse.
Yeah, he used to play for Angers. Pesic. So they actually got some Adama Traore, the Malian one.
The Malian Adama Traore.
Mali, yeah. And he played against Real Madrid when Sheriff beat him. So he's actually a pretty decent player too. I just think the star power of Ferencvárosi will.
Yeah,
they're one of my favorites to get to. What's it called? They're one of my favorites to get to the group stage because they've got a really decent roster. And I like if they beat a Rangers or a PSV or someone, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like I said, they've been to the Champions League pretty recently and had to go through these qualifying rounds. So they've done it before. I think it's a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going with fucking Ferencvárosi.
I'll do the same. Yeah, that was kind of what I was looking for. Beginning.
Fair enough. Next up is Olimpia Ljubljana, champion of Slovenia, taking on Valmeria from Latvia. Now, this is, I would say Ljubljana are slight favorites in this, just because I've seen like 1 or 2 of Valmiera's matches, and they're actually kind of decent. So, in terms of names that Ljubljana have, Pedro Lucas is there. You got who else do I recognize? Marko Ristic. I recognize him actually. I'm trying to think who else. Jorge Silva. The fuck? We got 2 Portuguese guys playing in Slovenia. That's interesting. So they might have some decent guys. I honestly, I will probably for this one, I'm gonna take a gamble and go Valmeria.
I'll go in the other direction. Thank you, Olympia. How do you say that?
Valmerius.
Yeah, no. So you're going Valmerius. I'm gonna go
Ljubljana.
Ljubljana. There we go. See, I'm learning how to say this stuff now too. These names now too.
Fair enough. Yeah. In terms of them, I don't think that they've been in Europe in a group stage before. If it hasn't been, it's been a while. So in terms of, they played in 4 Champions League games before, 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses, and they last played in the qualifiers in 2018-19. In the Conference League, they've also so they've never made a group stage, actually. And in terms of Valmeria, I don't think they haven't been in Europe either. They've lost every single time except for a draw against Sudova So I think that I gotta take an underdog every once in a while.
Yeah, no, you have to, because one of them is gonna
fuck
up and bite
up.
him.
One of them definitely. So everyone's going to Limpliana. That's fine. I'll go Valmerius. Like I said, I seen them once or twice. They were all right. So I'll go with them. I don't care. Next up is Hoyako Helsinki versus Larna. Now, cool story about Larna. They've been around for 134 years, and even they have won a domestic title before Arsenal has. They won the Northern Irish, the NIFL Irish Premiership for the first time in their 134-year history to get here, actually. So they actually got a decent team, and it's a tough one because Hoyako from Helsinki are also pretty good as well.
This is a tougher one.
Yeah, because both of the league's quality is pretty equivalent, I'd say. I'm trying to think here if HJK have any notable names. Radulovic. I vaguely recognize that name. I want to say they have one or two fucking Finnish internationals in here too. Tomu Tanaka plays there. Interesting. Shout out fucking Stelios and his brother Georgios Kanalopoulos is playing for fucking HJK Helsinki. In terms of them in Europe, they played actually in 76 Champions League games, 28 wins, 35 losses. They were in the European Cup and played Man United before.
Damn, lost like 9-0 on aggregate. Good Lord.
What?
I was like 9-0 on 9-2 on aggregate. Yikes.
Okay. Hey, they lost 16-2 to Ajax in 79. What the fuck?
That's brutal.
16-2.
16-2, 10-0. Wow.
They beat Liverpool somehow though in the second round.
Yeah, no, first
then lost 5-0.
Well, you know,
what lost 10-0 to Dinamo Minsk once. But it actually has gotten better.
It's gotten better
recently. Like they were in a Champions League group in 1998. They did it. They beat Benfica once. That was it. So they've been in one group stage, and I believe last year they were in one as well. Yeah, they're in the Europa League with Ludogorets, Betis, and Roma.
That's not an easy group.
They lost all of them except they drew with Ludogorets, but they only lost 2-1 to Roma, and 2-0 to Betis. 3-0 and 3-0 away was kind of expected, but they did start out in the first qualifying round, and they lost to fucking RFS from Latvia. So, they don't have great pedigree in the first qualifying round. Like I said, the only time they were in the Champions League group stage was 14-15 and then in 98 from what I'm seeing. So, but Larn are brand new to this. They've never been in Europe before.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. Like, I don't know. Who are you going with?
Oh, I'm going to go with the Finnish side.
Helsinki. Okay.
Helsinki. Yeah, I'm going Helsinki.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to go with Larn, actually. I'm going to go with Larn. Because I remember watching Helsinki. I remember watching HJK last year. And like I said, bro, they lost to fucking RFS from Latvia. Although RFS did make the group stage of the fucking Conference League where they played Fiorentina in the group stage. So they actually were a decent team. So yeah, I'll go with Larn, though.
Okay.
Interesting, but yeah, man. So that's what we got going on for that. What's the next match? Why isn't this pulling up? Come on. There we go. So yeah, interesting there. Fucking 16-2 on aggregate. That's hilarious.
Brutal. That's brutal, man.
16-2. The next match we've got up is Lincoln Red Imps. Again, another team that made the Europa Conference League group stage for the first ever time and was the first ever Gibraltar team from Gibraltar to make a European group stage. They didn't do well, but they did well enough to at least qualify for it. And they got a lot of money, like relative to them. I mean, they're paying players fucking pennies. And they're taking on Azerbaijani giants Qarabağ, who are obviously in Europe last year in the fucking, I believe it was the Europa League or the Conference League, but they've actually also played in the Champions League. They played Chelsea a few seasons ago in the fucking Champions League. In terms of like players that I like from Qarabağ, they've got fucking Hamidou Keita, who I recognize that name. He's pretty good. Leonardo Andrade as well. I recognize him. Jankovic, and they've got this one guy in midfield, Medina and Gugliashvili. Those are actually those guys are pretty solid. So, and Adama Diakbi as well. So they've got a good team. And what do we got for the fucking European record here? In terms of what? Where is it? Oh my fucking god! I have to click on another thing. By competition. What were they in last year? That's all I want to fucking know. Fuck my life. By season. What the hell were they in? They played a lot in Europe, actually.
Yeah, they did.
There we go. Yes, they were in the Europa League group stage with Nantes, Olympiacos, and Freiburg. And they actually beat Nantes 3-0 and Olympiacos 3-0, even though that Olympiacos team was fucking terrible. They actually they went, so since they finished third in the Europa League group stage, they got to the Europa Conference League playoff round in the fucking knockout phase. They did lose to Ghent though, 1-1 on pens. So, but what they did last year, Qarabağ, they beat Lech Poznan 5-2 on aggregate. Zurich also, they beat them 5-4. And then with Ferencvárosi, they even beat them, but then they fell the final hurdle to Victoria Pilsen, who they played in that group with Barca, Inter, and Bayern. So they actually, again, Qarabağ are decent. They have shown that they can get to the Champions League and other group stages in Europe. They've actually been in group stages for a while now.
Yeah.
Consistently. The last time they missed out on any group stage was they lost to Frankfurt in the Europa League playoff in 2013. So they've shown that they can get far enough to get in some European competition group stage and have had some decent success. Like fucking not like losing. I thought that they beat Spurs. Damn it. That would have been I could have landed that.
Dang it.
I remember when they drew with Atletico and they drew with Atletico
twice. Wow.
And they lost to Chelsea 4 and 6-0 and then Roma 2-1 and 1-0. That was crazy. But yeah, so I'll probably go with Qarabağ.
Same.
I'll probably go with Qarabağ, but
same. The underdogs from Gibraltar are gonna get taken to the rack, I think.
Yeah. Hey, at least they'll get a chance to get into the Conference League again. So, but yeah, I'm going Qarabağ and TJ's going Qarabağ as well. Let me just put that up there. Cool. I even misspelt it. Fucking awesome. I forgot the A. Nice. Moving on. Anyways, in terms of the next match, Rakow Częstochowa from Poland versus FC Flora. Now, I have a problem with Polish teams because they're fucking terrible. But the coefficient just manages to make them not look as shit as they actually are. Like I said, Qarabağ destroyed Lech Poznan 5-2 on aggregate, and they had a lead a 1-0 lead going into the second leg. And just some other shit performances from Legia Warszawa. And Lech Poznan are going to be the favorites for it. Rakow Szczecinowa they're going to be favorites. But Flora, actually, I believe they lost last year, but they lost pretty close. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Polish people. It was their first ever classic. Bro, I don't trust my own people, honestly.
I was going to say, you are Polish.
Kovacevic is good. They've actually got an American on here as well. Ben Lederman. He was born in the U.S., but he's a Polish youth international. Evie is decent. Jean Carlos, they have an Australian there as well. I've got a Romanian guy. Fuck it, I'll back Rakow, but I say that very. I'm not confident.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking up Flora right now. They do not have one international on their team. They're all
Estonians.
All Estonians.
Yeah.
All Estonians. I'm going to go with the Polish side as well. Rakow.
Yeah, I'll go Rakow as well. But I'm not very confident because they manage to just fuck up every time. Honestly, it's embarrassing. But we'll both go Rakow Szczecinowa. Fair enough. What do we got next in terms of matches? We've only got about 6 left. Slovan Bratislava from Slovakia versus Swift Hesperange from Luxembourg. Now, this is again another debut champion of their league for the first time since they've never been. I believe they've never been champions of. Yeah, it's their first ever. It's their second ever honor in their history, and like 7 years. So shout out to Swift Hesperange. But yeah, so. They've only played 4 games in Europe. They've lost all of them except one where they drew with Domžal. But they've got Slovan Bratislava, who do have a good European pedigree. But in terms of Ryan Philippe is actually a guy I have on my radar. I've been keeping track of him for a while. He's actually really good. As well as there was one other guy on here that I heard a little bit about. It's one of the Luxembourg guys. I forget. Maybe.
Yeah, I recognize none of these names. Holy crap.
Schwell Teixeira. Yeah, I don't know. But in terms of Slovan, they actually they played Ferencvárosi last year in the Champions League qualifiers and lost narrowly. I remember watching both of them. They're great 2-legged tie. It really was. They don't. Those fans don't like each other either because fucking. The Hungarians fucking take the piss out of Slovakia because it's a fake country, so that's cool. But anyways, actually, there is a name you're gonna recognize on here, TJ. There is gonna be a name.
Where is it?
You'll see it. You'll see it. You'll recognize one of them. I guarantee you will. Canadian guy.
Oh, Borjan, yeah. I know.
Yeah, Borjan. There you go. Yeah. Just a question. Just wondering, does a Newcastle fan or Arsenal fan qualify to do analysts on UCL? Yes, we're in the competition.
We're in the competition. We're doing it, Elias.
Even if we're not qualified,
we're going to do it anyway.
We have to look at our potential future.
We're gonna do it. This is one of the benefits of actually being in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Remember that, Elias?
Yeah.
All right.
Kuka actually used to play for Parma, and he is a Slovak international as well. Cesar Blackman is playing for Panama right now, actually, in the Gold Cup. Kevin Vima, I also recognize him too. And Kasia plays for the Georgian national team as center back as well. So
Yeah, you watch the Georgia. You watch the Georgia national team a lot, don't you?
Fuck yeah, because they're a potential golden generation coming up. I have so much fucking stocks in Georgia being sick in the next few years. 100%. So, but yeah, man. I'm gonna go with Slovan. I think I'm gonna go with Slovan.
I'm gonna go with Slovan too.
Okay, fair enough. You're going Slovan, Bratislava.
When there's like a 50-50, I'll go in the other direction.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a 50-50.
This is a 50-50, I think. Farul Constanta versus Sheriff Tiraspol. From Moldova, obviously, Farul Constanta. They are first ever. This is their first ever, I believe. What's it called? It's their first ever Liga I title in Romania in their 103-year history. So again, another debut champion of a league, qualifying for the Champions League qualifying round. So they've got. I'm trying to see if there are any players that I recognize. They've got a shitload of players.
Yeah, they do.
What the fuck? They've got a Rivaldinho.
I don't know. I don't recognize that.
Zorhan Basong. Wow.
I recognize Basong from international games.
A Martinique player as well. Damien Dasut. I'm trying to think if there were any. Dan Surbu. Kevin Boley. Yes, I actually recognize him. And Ducore as well. I believe they both played in League. Popescu as well. Gustavo Merens, I might have heard of him. And then in terms of Sheriff, there are actually a few guys I recognize. Now, let's see. The current squad. They've got Ricardinho, who's sick, by the way. He's fucking sick. And they recently brought someone in who was also really good. I'm trying to think here. It might have been a Tapsoba. Is that his brother?
From Standard Liège. I don't know.
Is there no? You know I'm talking about the Leverkusen Tapsoba.
Yeah, I know which Tapsoba you're talking about. I think Spurs were linked to the non-Sheriff Tapsoba.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about that.
He's only 21. Okay, I'll have to keep my eye on him then. But yeah, this is 50-50 for me because there's obviously a ton of. I mean, the cool thing about these teams from like the lower regions of Europe, they'll uncover some gems from like Africa, like in terms of they'll just pluck guys out who've just got pace and power.
Right.
So they both got a fuck ton of them. Like I said, or from South America, Ricardinho. Look how many fucking nationalities they got. They've obviously got Moldovans. They play Moldova. They've got Garananga from Zimbabwe, a Bosnian, of someone from Burkina Faso, someone from Ukraine, Brazil, Niger, Morocco, Cameroon, Greece, Gambia, Mali, Nigeria, a bunch, Colombia as well. So both of these teams have pretty decent rosters. So I don't know who you going with.
I'm gonna go with Sheriff
Tiraspol. I'll go with that too. I think I'll go with Sheriff Tiraspol.
Yeah, Sheriff. Sharaf.
They're actually from obviously Transnistria, which is the little region of Moldova that is trying to break away. It's like I don't know, like a California or some shit.
No, right. Like a Texas.
It's a different world, bro. It's a different world. But yeah, so that's that. So Farul and Sheriff. Now, Hamrun Spartans versus Maccabi Haifa. Now, Maccabi Haifa, obviously, they made the Champions League last season and actually did pretty damn well. They beat Juventus And drew with Paris Saint-Germain, I think once. No, actually.
Yeah, check that. I think I remember watching that.
They
Could be
beat
getting it
Juve. They beat Juve. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. Wait.
It's kicking off in the chat, by the way.
What's kicking off in the chat? Spurs and Arsenal. Wow.
Spurs, Arsenal, and Chelsea.
Sundgren. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Sundgren at Maccabi Haifa. Yeah, I'll get into that in a sec. I'm trying to find the Champions League. They won the Israeli Premier League. Champions League group stage for the third time. They beat Olympiacos, Limassol, and Red Star Belgrade in the playoff rounds. They got through 3 decent teams, although Olympiacos were pretty shit last year. The group stage, they were in the same group as PSG, Juve, Benfica. Sherry, this guy here, scored the opener against Paris Saint-Germain. They lost 3-1. But they beat Juve 2-0. They lost 7-2 to PSG. But they did obviously beat Juve and finished above them. Fourth. They finished 4th. But, yeah, Juve, they beat Juve last year, and they got through 3 tough opponents. So, in terms of their players, Sundgren is a good player, definitely. Franci Piro plays for Haiti. Up top, big, strong, good in the air. He's a fucking good player, man. I think if someone, because Maccabi Haifa played with 2 up front, I actually think if a Brentford went for him, that would be a good signing. That'd be an under-the-radar Brentford kind of signing. So Piro, for me, good player. I like Rafaelov as well. And Cherry plays for Suriname now. Corneau, another one I recognize. They've got a German there in Israel. They've got Abdullah Sek. He's a good defender as well. This is actually a pretty decent team, and they're playing against, who was it again? Hamrun Spartans from Malta. So I'm going Maccabi Haifa.
I was going Haifa too.
This would probably be one of my guarantees.
Yeah.
If I were to put $1 billion on it, it would be Haifa to advance. Malta, not the strongest of leagues at all. It's near the bottom. So I'll go with Maccabi Haifa. And you're doing the same?
I'm going Maccabi Haifa, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Big up everybody in the chat, by the way.
Hey, shout out everybody in the chat. What's going on in the chat anyways? Let me take
hanging out
Where
with
is
us.
Josh Cohen? So Josh Cohen is I think he went out on loan. Let me double check because there's an American goalkeeper, obviously Josh Cohen, that played for Maccabi Haifa a lot last year. Where is Josh Cohen? I thought he was still there. He's obviously part.
They were bigging up Josh Cohen for a while there, yes, last year.
I know, because he's fucking better than who was the goalkeeper that should have no business being here? Stefan. Yeah, Stefan's
declined at the same time.
Yeah. Holy
fraud at Man City, absolute fraud.
Yeah,
he shouldn't even. I don't think he should be in the national team. You got Johnson, and Turner are the only ones.
And the guy Horvath. Horvath as well is far better than.
I like Horvath, but yeah, like Stefan's like 4th rung, I think.
Sean Johnson's probably better than
Sean Johnson. I saw Sean Johnson live against Uruguay. He was class against Uruguay. Saw him right in front of me. It was awesome.
Fair enough.
He made a save on Darwin Noodles. That was
like
sick.
2017.
What?
Was that 2017?
What was 2017?
The Uruguay game.
No, the Uruguay. It was a friendly last summer.
Oh shit!
I actually went and saw it.
Oh! That was when we played Morocco too.
Yeah, exactly.
In that kind of time span. Yeah. I remember.
Sean Johnson might be terrible, but he made a save on Darwin Noodles, which was sick. I was right in front of it. Like that was one of it was probably the coolest passage of play I've ever seen in football live that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was
there
sick.
You go. Nice. Well, you'll get to see Enkedia next month at the MLS All-Star game. So
That's 2 weeks. Jesus.
That might change, but yeah. this is a tough one too. Zrinjski Mostar are playing from Bosnia. The champions of Bosnia are playing Urartu from Armenia. Now, Urartu actually have former Arsenal player, Arsenal flop really, Yaya Sanogo.
Sanogo is on here. Are you serious?
Yeah, he's number 90. Yeah, he played for Charlton, Alger, Toulouse. He's also played at Ajax, Palace, Huddersfield Town, and he's only like 29. Yeah, but Yaya Sanogo actually plays for. Yeah, he's only 30. So how many times did he play for Arsenal? 11 times.
French peace pipe. Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, so Yaya Sanogo, he was signed to Arsenal. He played against Fulham for Podolski. He had a back injury. He was just ass. But he is, for an Armenian team to have Yaya Sanogo, that's pretty fucking good. And he's actually off to a good start. Ozplis, I believe, plays for the national team, Armenian national team. He's all right. And there's some all right other players on here, I believe. I think this guy's pretty decent. Yevhen Tjalsumbluk, whatever the fuck. And then in terms of Zrinjski Mostar, I'm not sure if I recognize any of their. Are they a debut champion too? Is this their first ever champion? What are honors? Domestic. They've played. Okay, so Urartu's European record ain't great. 30 played, 4 wins, 3 draws, 23 losses, a negative 48 goal differential, 21 goals scored, 69 conceded. So that's not great. So it's their second ever Armenian Premier League title. And in terms of Zrinjski, they're one of the bigger clubs in Bosnia, the biggest, I would probably say, which is funny because they also they like to affiliate more with the Croatian side of things in the Balkan area. But yeah, they've won a bunch of they're 8-time record holders of the Bosnian Premier League title. In terms of who they've got, if I recognize any of them, a bunch of Croatians, an Albanian. I'm trying to think. Ivan Jukic, Troy Luka. Did he play for Atalanta? No, Domžal. I'm thinking of a different. No, the Troy Luka. I'm thinking of play for Lokomotiv Moscow actually. I don't recognize really any of these guys. Ivančić, Kuj. So again, a pretty even one, but Urartu have fucking Yaya Sanogo, who's really decent for a fucking
for a
Armenian
team.
I might go with them then, but their record in Europe is ass. That's the problem.
I'll change it up and I'll go with the Bosnians.
You'll go with Zrinjski Mostar.
Yeah, I'll go with let's shake it up. I'm going Bosnians.
Okay. You're going with that. I'll go with let me check Sanogo's record again. Has he played? Oh, he's played. Okay, so he's got 2 goals there. I'll go with Urartu. I'll go with the Armenians. I'll go with Yaya Sanogo. Maybe he'll do something. I'll go with Urartu. So there you go. Another difference. Partizani, FK Partizani from Albania take on Bate Borisov from Belarus, obviously champions of their both domestic leagues. I've watched a few because on YouTube they show it for free. Like every Belarusian game. The league is so unwatchable. It's pretty funny, but I enjoy watching it for some reason. I'm trying to think. This guy's all right, I guess. I don't know. This is a tough one in terms of like which. I don't know. They've got more of the foreign kind of influence.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're getting deep now. The Albanian league.
Alfred
Lord.
Mensah. I swear he played somewhere else in Italy or something. No, Skanderbu. He's only 23. He's only played in fucking Albania, though, professionally. But he's Ghanaian. That's interesting.
Mm.
So Alfred Mensah could be decent. Victor da Silva, attacking midfielder. I'm trying to... Eros Grezda. He used to play for Rangers, and there was one other team. I want to say it was a Croatian one. I think it was Osijek. Is it? Yes!
Wow.
Osijek and Rangers. So I do recognize Grezda. He was ass at Rangers. Absolutely fucking awful. And then from there, he left to go back to Osijek and has been loaned out to Zalaegerszeg. Is that Hungary? Yeah, Hungary. Yeah. Sibanek Manisa. So this guy is just he's doing a bunch of one-night stands around the Balkan area after he flopped at Rangers. So that's cool. So that's the only player I recognize. Because they have Eros Grezda, I'm picking against them automatically. He's ass. So I'll go Bate Borisov, but I'm not very confident.
I'll go Bate Borisov too.
Partizan has a lot of history in the chat. You're thinking of Partizan Belgrade, the Serbian team. They're actually decent. Let me actually check like favorites in terms of this, and I'll go over the favorites also. I'll just do it at the end. I'll go with because they have fucking Eros Grezda. I'm going Bate Borisov, and you are as well.
Bate Borisov, yes.
Bate Borisov. Yeah. All right, cool. That's locked in. Nice. Now, the final one, I believe, is Astana. This is going to be one of the tougher ones. Astana versus Dinamo Tbilisi. Now, Astana, Kazakhstan football has actually been doing really well recently in terms of in the Nations League, and they actually might qualify for the next Euros. And obviously, Astana have a few of those players in the Kazakh national team have been doing so well, and a few other, obviously, some foreign players. You've got the likes of Tomasov, who's pretty decent, Tomasevic, I believe he is a Montenegrin international. Fabian Uriega, who used to play for Sochaux. I'm trying to think. Kaut, I believe, plays as he's played for Kazakhstan before. Gabashev. So it's a decent team. They are decent. And then if you want to look at fucking Dinamo Tbilisi, and again, another team, like another nation that's doing really well in football, domestically and for the international team, like they've got ballers out there. Obviously, Kavica Kvaratskhelia came from not Dinamo Tbilisi, but the other one, Dinamo Batumi, for only $7 million. He went to Napoli and destroyed the fucking league. So they've got good players. Imran Urad Omar, who is of Moroccan descent. He's played in the Netherlands before. Francis Nzaba. They've got some other Georgian internationals. I believe Makhachvili, and Shakladze as well. So Wagner Gonçalves, Usman Kamara, I recognize that name definitely.
I recognize that name too. I don't remember what from though. No, it must be different.
De La Gori in fucking Georgia, Valerenga in Norway, and AFC Eskilstuna in Sweden. But this is a tough one. This one actually. I'm gonna go with fucking Dinamo Tbilisi.
I'll go with Astana. I'll go in the other direction.
Oh, all right. TJ's going Astana. Nice. Fair enough. Now, what are we gonna do next here? In terms of let's see, because I didn't check who was favorites. Let's see if we got
any of the favorites, right?
Yeah, if either one of us.
Yeah.
I don't know why this is glitching out. There we go. So, in terms of the first one,
when in doubt, choose the goat herders. Wow.
Who Who are the goat herders?
Yeah, I know.
Which ones? That's all.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know.
And also, Michi Boy, I remember you asked me earlier about when do Rangers take place. They are going to be in the third qualifying round, I believe. So, hopefully that answers that. So basically, Rangers are going to either be playing one of these teams or another one like, I believe, Marseille, PSV, TSC Baka Topala, which is from Serbia. They finished runners-up. So, yeah, that's what that is. What the fuck is Champions League qualifiers? There we go. So, in terms of Urartu and Zrinski Mostar, Zrinski are the favorite. A narrow favorite, not by much. Qarabağ are huge favorites over Lincoln Red Imps. Zalgiris are huge favorites over Struga. Huge favorites Rakow are over Flora. Mm-hmm. And by huge, I mean $5 on a Flora win gets you 50. Maccabi Haifa are huge favorites against Hamrun Spartans. Olympia Ljubljana are huge favorites over Valmeria. Ludogorets are pretty decent favorites against Balkani, even though I'm going Balkani. Ferencvárosi are huge favorites over Kiai Klaksvik from Faroe Islands. Shamrock Rovers are favorites over Breidablik. Astana are way too big of favorites, I think, over to Dinamo Tbilisi. They're like under the 2 threshold. Helsinki are massive favorites over Larn. Haken are fucking even bigger favorites against the New Saints from Wales.
Yeah.
Put $5 on the Welsh team to win, you get 65.
You put a cheeky five on that, just
on one of them, yeah, because one of them's
just for fun.
I think so. Faro Constanta are favorites over Sheriff. I'm a bit surprised by that. And Slovan are huge favorites over Swift. So after all that, I feel pretty good about my picks. Obviously, you went with what's it called? You went with Haken, Ludogorets. You went with Shamrock too, right? Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah, Shamrock, yeah.
You went with, who was it between Zalgiris and Struga? You picked Zalgiris, right?
I picked Zalgiris, yeah.
Yeah, because they're European. They did well recently. Okay. You picked Ferencvárosi over Key. You picked Ljubljana over Valmeria. You picked HJK to beat Larn. Qarabağ to beat Lincoln Red Imps. Rakow to beat Flora. What did you go with for Slovan Swift, the Luxembourg team?
Slovan, I believe.
Yeah, you went with Slovan.
Yeah.
Farrell and Sheriff.
I went Sheriff.
And then Maccabi Haifa versus Hamrun. We both went Maccabi Haifa. You went with Zrinski, right? Over Urartu?
Yes.
And you went with Bate Borisov and Astana?
Yeah.
So fair. All right, cool. And then I went with fucking Haken, Balkani, Breidablik, Zalgiris, Ferencvárosi, Valmeria. Did I go with Larn or HJK?
I went with HJK, I thought, if I'm remembering correctly. I might have to go back and watch it. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, though.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'll just watch it back. Qarabağ, I picked them. I picked Rakow reluctantly. I picked Slovan. I went with Sheriff. I went with Maccabi Haifa. I went with Urartu. I went with Bate Borisov, and I'm going Dinamo Tbilisi. So basically, now here's where we can wrap this up into the next part of it in terms of the next video we'll do in the second qualifying round. So basically, let me pull this up real fucking quick.
I'm interested. I'm ready for this. I'm watching all these games.
Yeah.
You're gonna just call me Strasbourg Steve Light. I'm gonna be watching these games.
Yeah. So in terms of what this is gonna mean, so let me hold on. I gotta get this right. There we go. So the winners of match 4 will play Galatasaray, and match 4 is Zalgiris or Struga. So Zalgiris, if they win, they will play Galatasaray. If Struga win, they play them.
Mhm.
Match 2, Balkani or Ludogorets play the winners of match 6, which is Olimpia Ljubljana or Valmeria. So it's going to be Balkani, Ludogorets versus Ljubljana or Valmeria. The winners of match 9, which is Rocco and Flora, play the winners of match 8, which will most likely be Rocco versus Qarabağ.
Mhm.
Match 7 plays Molde, and match 7 is HJK or Larn. And Copenhagen, who obviously played in the Champions League last year in Man City's group, they play the winners of match 3, which is Shamrock or Breidablik. They'll be heavy favorites for whoever comes out of that. 11 versus 12. So that's going to be Faro, Sheriff, Hamrun, or Maccabi Haifa. RS Limassol, the champions of Cyprus, actually. They play the winners of match 14, which is either going to be Partizani or Batu Borisov. Winners of match 13 and versus 10. So 13 is Urartu Zrinski, Slovan, Swift. So it's going to be Urartu or Zrinski versus Swift or Slovan Bratislava. Then the final one is Dinamo Zagreb versus the winners of match 15, which is Dinamo Zagreb versus Astana or Dinamo Tbilisi. And then part of that too, the league path, these are the 2 runner-ups, Dnipro from Ukraine or Panathinaikos, and then Servette versus Genk, and then the 3rd qualifying round, etc., etc. And that's where Rangers come into it, Marseille, and then it'll all equal up to this. So we're at the first stage of it in terms of the
first stage, yeah.
Yeah, so we're at the first stage of all of this in terms of the Champions League qualifying round. Yeah, good shit, man. It's exciting. So
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to follow this from soup to nuts, man. This is gonna be awesome.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Bro, for me, it's just it's more football. And that's what I love. And you get to learn about the other teams that might be in the Champions League. So you want to know a little bit just to keep informed. So yeah, man.
Yeah, then you get to know who Arsenal are going to play against in the group stage, who are Newcastle going to play against in the group stage. You'll actually understand and know something about the teams, which is good because I've never, I barely like Europa League, but Champions League, man. I'm so excited. It's a good time. It's a good time to be a YouTuber. It's going to be a lot of football.
Absolutely. Mayflower Rangers absolutely. Man.
Yeah.
They could definitely make it. But thanks TJ for coming on, and thanks everyone
for having me.
Watching. I hope you all were educated and whatnot.
I feel smarter.
You do?
I feel a lot smarter, yes.
Hey, you recognize a bunch of players, bro.
I recognize like a few, but now I'm ready to I want to be on Steve's level. I want to learn. It'll take me years, but I'll get there, guys. I'll get there.
Yeah. It is crazy though, like the story. Yeah, exactly. Dinamo Tbilisi have won European Cups before, or UEFA Cups, whatever. There are some big teams in there. Yeah, definitely. So thanks everyone for watching. Let me know in the comments below what your picks are. And take care, everybody. See y'all later.
Take it easy.